What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here. It is Wednesday, and we are down here to talk about the Real Housewives of New York City. I watched it this morning. I just got finished watching it, like, as soon as it was time for me to leave. I was done with the episode. So I have the episode up right here because I did not take any notes, so I'm just going to look at the images from the scenes, and then we can talk about them, okay? Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know that you stopped by. So let's go ahead and talk about the Real Housewives of New York City. So we start off with Ramona, not Ramona, what's the girl's name? Sonja. She is getting not Sonja, Eboni. Eboni is getting a DNA test. We see that. And then we see Sonja, Ramona, and Luann going out to, I guess, lunch or something like that. And Sonja is letting Luann know that that guy, I forgot his name, what I said looked like Tarzan. He had the wavy hair. Sonja said that she left with him and that she's like, girl, I can't even walk today. That's what she was saying to Luann. And she was like, did you guys have sex? And she was like, girls, my name's Sonja Morgan. And she was like, girl, I can't even walk today. So she was like all happy and excited. And then Ramona came in, and when Ramona came in, they told Ramona, and Ramona was like, girl, I don't even know, like, how he would take her home, let alone sleep with her. Anyways, so they're having their conversation. She says she's looking for Mr. Right, and she's like, anybody will do. And it turns out that she's not telling the truth. Now, either she's not telling the truth or he's not telling the truth. So we don't know, but we know we live in a society where we believe the man over the woman. We have an unconscious bias that when a man and a woman say two different stories, typically the man is given the benefit of the doubt in the society that we live in. Because I even thought about that, because they were all like, he was like, no, I didn't sleep with her. My girlfriend was there. So what does that mean? He watched, she joined in. Because in my head, he was like, girl, I'm about to have sex with this older lady. You want to watch or you want to join in? But the Sonja was very clear to Leah, like, I like dick, so I'm not fucking with the girl, basically, is what she was saying. And, but we don't know what the truth is. So Sonja said one thing, the guy said another thing. So, I am inclined to give the woman the benefit of the doubt. I would hate for Sonja to be lying on her pussy, but you never know. I'm going to give Sonja the benefit of the doubt over the guy. So that's just how that's gonna go. Then Sonja starts talking about Eboni. They're gonna have this Black Shabbat dinner, and the guy that she's already dating, or that she's already told the women about, they've already broken up. So his thing was that he wants to be with a Jewish woman who has not converted. He wants to be with a Jewish woman, not a convert, right? So that's Eboni's story. Now, this is the second Jewish man that Eboni has partnered with. So we see that she has a preference. And I'm sure I know what the motivation is by that. I'm not sure I know. I think I know what the motivation is behind getting with the Jewish guy, and that is what a lot of women who are looking for partnership look for, is security. It is ironic that the last two men that she's been with have been Jewish, and she's on this whole Black Shabbat thing. I don't know if that's what her and Leah's connection are, because Leah is supposedly converting as well. Sonja feels bad that she told Luann and Ramona So she is calling Eboni to let her know, I know you told me this in confidence, but I told the girls that you already broke up with the guy. And so she was like, well, Ramona was not happy with that. Ramona was like, I feel like that's messed up. You trusted this guy. He was your friend. And now he wants to break up with you because you're not Jewish. That's not cool. So Ramona was not happy with that. She was really mad. She was like, that's a trust thing, because if that's your homeboy, if you guys were friends first, and that's what made the relationship so good, is that you guys were friends first, and now he's telling you, girl, you need to be Jewish, not converting to Judaism. And I'm sure that is coming from his parents, because if he entertained a relationship with Eboni, and now it's time to, like, no, you need to be with a Jewish woman, not with a black woman who converted to Judaism. Maybe that's what it is. I would love to get into that, but maybe next season if Eboni returns. So we get over to Leah, Sarah, and her brother, who looks like Freddie Mercury. He does. I was like, who's coming in the door? He had this Freddie Mercury's mustache on. You know who he is. Y'all know who Freddie Mercury is. He's not a bad looking dude. Leah's brother. He's dark hair. He has dark hair and he has this mustache. And he's not a bad looking guy. I would really like to see Leah's sister on this show. I really want Leah. If Leah's going to stay, please bring Sarah. Please bring Sarah to the show. The sister comes over. They're just talking about how the mother treats the son better than she treats the daughter. Like, shocker. Is anybody shocked that the mother doesn't treat the daughters as well as she treats her son? Anyone shocked? Okay. Nobody's shocked. All right. So then we get to Sonja's house, and she's having some healing work done. I kind of walked out of the room with that, but basically Sonja has daddy issues, like a lot of women who have been abandoned by their father. And what she did tell a story, and I kind of related to, is the evil step parent. I have had that experience. My father married a woman who mistreated me. Like, when I tell you she mistreated me, when I look back on it as an adult, and I'm like, this lady was really mean to a 14-year-old girl. Like, so mean. Like, she would do stuff like, she wasn't really a homemaker, right? She wasn't really a homemaker. So she would tell me to clean the kitchen. She wouldn't clean the kitchen. She would tell me to clean the kitchen. She would make food and not make me any. She would go out and get food for her children and not bring me back any. I would come home from volleyball practice or basketball practice, whatever sport I was playing, and she would tell me that the kitchen was closed when I would come home from practice. And when you come home from any kind of practice, you are hungry, right? Because you've used all your energy. And I would be told, you can't eat. So I would have to go to bed hungry and eat junk food at school. My face was all broken out from all the greasy, like, tater tots and shit that I was eating at school. She was an awful person. I didn't even last a whole school year because I went to live with my dad for a school year, and I didn't even last a whole school year. My father's wife was a terrorist. I call her step monster. I do. She was an awful person to me. And so when Sonja was telling her story about how her stepfather didn't see her, he only saw his children, and she didn't understand, like, how come he didn't see me, so she has that issues with that. And that resonated with me, and I was like, I know what it is. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, I know what it's like to have a step parent who is just awful and mistreats the children of the person that they're with. My mom was like, I need to come get you. I have to come get you from that house, or I'm gonna end up beating that lady's ass. And that's what it was. And so they came and got me, and I had to finish the school year at another school. I had to make whole new friends, everything like that. It was, and it's so funny because I'm just going off on a tangent. It's so funny because when I think about the ways that my father did not protect me as I was growing up, that's one of the things. Like, you allowed a woman to come in and mistreat your second born child to the point where your ex-wife had to come get your child. She was being mistreated so much. I remember I broke my ankle, had to get a cast and everything, broke my ankle playing basketball. And the next day, I didn't know that I had broken it at the time, but the next morning, I thought I just twisted it, went home or whatever. The next morning, I woke up and my ankle was really, really swollen. And I was like, I'm not going to school today. I can't go to school. I can't walk. I was in so much pain. And I remember, I will never forget this. As she leaves the house, she goes, well, if you're going to be home from school, all day, you better clean up this house. And she walks out the door. I will never forget that. And I was thinking to myself, I'm 14 years old. And I'm thinking to myself, you want me to clean up this house, lady? I just told you I couldn't walk. I called my grandparents and they came and got me. I was like, please come and get me. This lady tells me I need to clean up the house. I hurt my ankle. My ankle is swollen. I need to go to the doctor. I had no adult. My dad was a fucking asshole. Like when I think about that shit, I think about that, like, how could you do that? And then I think about, you motherfucker, you are a piece of work as a father, a fucking failure as a father, a failure. And so when Sonja was going through that, I really resonated. All those memories just came back. Like, how could anyone mistreat a child? I don't fuck around. I don't fuck around with people who mistreat children. And I remember, I'm not going to leave this part of the story out. I remember I asked the white boys at school, I have a stepmom who is mistreating me. They told me, they were like, do this to her. I put sugar in her gas tank. I sure did. But she wasn't a homemaker. Remember, I said that, right? She wasn't a homemaker. So the only thing she had in the cabinet was some powdered sugar, right? So I had to put powdered sugar, and I was trying to get it. I remember sneaking out of the house, going to her Volvo that my father bought her, a black Volvo. I will never forget it. And I put powdered sugar in her gas tank, and it took days for it to fuck her car up. And I remember the day that she called my dad. I think she was leaving work, and the car wouldn't start, and she said she saw a bunch of powder in the gas area. I was 14, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, she was like, I don't know who did it. Maybe she worked at a school. I don't know, maybe a student did it or something like that. So you were probably a bitch to the other students. So why would you think a student did it? Anyways. And then I also probably could have really harmed her, but I put nail polish remover in her contact lens solution. Right? So it's so funny that I'm this bad kid, right? And I'm reacting, doing these awful things that can possibly hurt another human being because I'm being mistreated. This is far better. This story is far better than New York City. But when they retell the story, they tell the story like Erica did this to her and Erica did this to her. But why would a 14-year-old put nail polish remover in somebody's contact lens solution just to be mean? Just mean, like I'm just this evil kid? Or why would a 14-year-old, what is going on in her life to the where she had to resort to trying to harm somebody? That I couldn't beat her up, I couldn't fight her. I wanted to fight her, but that's the only way that I could get back at her for mistreating me. But when they tell the story, they start in the middle. Like when my brother assaulted me, they start in the middle. They start with, well, she kicked at me. Yeah, you were walking toward her in this very aggressive manner. Was she supposed to allow you to choke her, or was she supposed to defend herself? And it's weird because it's like when you harm people and they defend themselves, when the person retells the story, they start in the middle. They start in the middle, and it's really fucked up. Anyways, that's a little story from when I was a 14-year-old girl. And my father allowed a woman to mistreat me, and I took it into my own hands and mistreated her back. She later apologized to me and gave me a ring, this gold ring with these diamonds in it. I don't know where the ring is. But it's like there's nothing that you can apologize to you mistreated a child, a defenseless person, a vulnerable. You're a fucked up individual. So you need to ask forgiveness in yourself. Anyways, Eboni, she has her test. Her DNA test comes back that she is not actually related to this girl and that man who left her after taking one load of her college, moving to college. He left after he took one load, so that wasn't her daddy after all. And she looks like she's trying to push out tears. I don't know if Eboni is a Virgo, right? So she is a Virgo. So when it's time to cry, she looks very it looks very forced. There's no tears coming out. The way that Eboni emotes is very inauthentic from my standpoint. It looks very fake. It looks very forced. I was like, girl, you're really trying to cry, aren't you? But she couldn't cry. She couldn't get the tears out. And it's funny because it's like, you don't even have to fake crying. You don't know this man. He could have been your father. You don't have no relationship with him. If you find out this man who you didn't have a relationship with isn't your father, you probably won't cry. So don't act like you want to cry about it just so that other people can feel like, oh, does she feel bad? Or I don't know. But I was like, Eboni, what are you fake crying for? Anyways, so she fakes hugs her dog. I need some support. The dog was like, girl, get off of me. And jumped off the bed and walked away. Anyway, so Sonja is meeting with, what's his name? Gurav. I think that's his name. I'm trying to see his name right here. Yeah, Gurav. That's his name. So they meet with Gurav, and basically Gurav is just Sonja wants to know, where's her money? Right? If Century 21, which is a fashion house on the East Coast, it's a real estate firm on the West Coast. If Century 21, I don't know if they still real estate, if Century 21 is still a real estate company. But anyways, Century 21 is a fashion, like a department store. And they went out of business. They went bankrupt right when Sonja's stuff was, taken off. Everybody was really excited for Sonja because it was like she finally got something. The toaster oven didn't pan out. The skinny girl, what was she trying to call her thing? Tipsy girl didn't pan out. I remember when Bethany cussed her, and when I tell you Bethany cussed her ass out about that, she was like, it's not the same. Bethany was not having it. I remember she cussed her ass out. And Sonja was just looking all pitiful and stuff. She really thought she had something. So everybody was really happy when Sonja got her, her clothing line and everything like that. So she wants to know where the money is because they're still selling online, I believe. And he's telling us that Sonja has checks that she hasn't even cashed. He's like, I'm paying you. I'm giving you money, but you're not cashing the checks. She's like, that $2,000 check, that was an insult. I don't even know where that is. But even Ramona was like, because Ramona comes in, right? And Ramona used to do what Seth, is that his name? Meredith and Seth on Salt Lake City. He does like a Ross, TJ Maxx. So he buys clothes like that and he sells them. Ramona used to do the same thing. So I don't know if that's, apparently it's lucrative because these motherfuckers got dough. So Ramona's expertise comes in. She's having a conversation. She's like, okay, well, if she's making this amount of money, she should be making this amount of money a year. This should be her profit. And then I guess they wanted to give Ramona something. I wasn't clear on what they were talking about. He says the first month we hardly sold 2,000, and then the next month it was 50,000. And then Ramona was like, you mean 50,000 a year? He said, no, 50,000 a month. Okay, so she was like, okay, she did the number. She was like, okay, so she should be making this amount in profit. And he was like, Sonja has $10,000 worth of checks that have not been cashed. Right? So $10,000 is still not enough to be making $600,000 in a year. That's not $10,000. That don't work for me. Them numbers don't work for me. So they're going back and forth and back and forth. Do I feel like he's doing something shady? No, I don't feel like he's doing something shady. I felt like when he walked in the door, I said, I don't think he would show up to her house if he was on some shady shit. I think he would be trying to avoid showing her the books. So she says, I want to see the books. And he's trying to show her where he's paid her. Ramona said, we want to see the books, the accounts receivable. She didn't say that, but that's what Ramona wants to see. And it's so good that Sonja has Ramona there, because Ramona has the expertise in dealing with clothes and all of this stuff. And Sonja's just like, basically, I need to do something for myself to have some money. Basically, anything, whatever sticks will stick. And the fashion is sticking for her. So we'll see. He gets smart with Ramona. He tells Ramona, do you want to be the creative director over the website? She was like, I'm not even asking all of that. We want to see the books. That's all we want to see. She hasn't used it. You took $60,000 to pay the lawyers and all this other stuff. I gave you the tax filings. That's what he said. I gave you the tax filings. She said, I don't want to see what you claimed on your taxes. I want to see when the money came in, the books that you wrote the money down in. That's what I want to see. So now they go to Luann's house, or this house that they rented. Leah and Eboni are on their way there. Eboni lets Leah know that oh boy is not her father, and she's not siblings with that girl. And she looks a little concerned at first, and she's like, you know, she's gonna submit her DNA so that she can try and find her dad at the end of the day. That's what she wants to find her dad. So Sonja tells, Ramona tells Luann that the thing with Dylan was a lie, that Sonja was lying about getting her back blown out. And they were like, I don't know why she lies about. And then even Eboni was like, she's lying because she, wants to be funny, I guess. I don't know why she's making up stories. But like I said, I give Sonja the benefit of the doubt over the guy. Whether that's how we're gonna roll. Whatever. So they have caviar, champagne. It's a cute little thing. They do their video shoot. They find out that it won't come out until next year because it's too late in the season. Christmas songs are typically recorded in the summertime and ready for release by October, like the end of October, and that's when the Christmas shit starts, coming out. So they all look nice. They do their music video. It's very cute. They're doing the champagne. Sonja comes in. They tell Sonja that, I don't think they told Sonja that they knew she was lying, but she tells Leah that the girl was in the room, and she was like, listen. She was like, well, what does the girl look like? I want to see what the girl, this is what Leah was talking about. Let's see what the girl looks like. She was like, I like dick. This is what Sonja kept saying. She kept saying, I don't give a damn if the girl was there. I like dick. I was there to get laid. That's what she said. I said, okay, come on, bitch. So that was it. They did the video. They said Sonja, that the guy called and was like, come get Sonja. She's passed out in the bed. So Sonja told them that they was fucking all night. Somebody called and said Sonja was passed out in the bed. Come get her. Oh boy has pictures on his IG stories, and Sonja's in the background, and the girlfriend is there too. Sonja's sticking to her story. She didn't say she was just kidding or anything like that. So we'll never know. We'll never know. And then Ramona's kind of putting a battery in Luann's back, saying she's just, you saw how happy she was when you told her you broke up with Garth and this and that. I thought it was cute when Eboni hugged them, because she was like, oh, I'm not messing with Garth anymore. She was like, really? She was like, girl, at least we're pretty. And they all were hugging, like a little threesome hug or whatever. Overall, the episode was just okay. It was almost like a filler episode, like a lot of little stories, but not really anything integral to anyone's storyline except for Eboni's DNA results. And that was pretty much it. Please don't feel bad for me and the story that I told. I have been in therapy and I'm gone through that with therapy and all that other stuff. So don't feel bad. That was a story. I was 14 years old. It was a long, long time ago. But like I always say, be mindful of the role that you play in someone's life, because one day they will tell their story. And if you do not have a favorable role in that chapter, you might not like how it sounds years later. Yeah, you might not like how it sounds. So when you're walking and becoming a part of another person's life, just be mindful of how you guys experience each other, because one day that person is going to share that experience, and you don't want to look like a fucking asshole. Anyways, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.